Okay, our next contestant is number 14. It is NGUYEN QUYNH TRANGClass from Tucson Secondary School.
Mariska?
Hello, everybody. It is my great honor to be here amongst you today. And I've also prepared a video for my introduction. So everybody just watch it and I will explain more detail about myself. Yeah, my name is NGUYEN QUYNH TRANCClass and I'm from Tucson Secondary School. And I find that I'm a creative girl with non-stop ideal. Like, yeah, you can see. In my spare time, I like listening to music and doing stupid things with my friends. Yeah, and I also want to go to the environment and yeah. So, yeah, thank you for watching it. Thank you. And as I've mentioned in my video, today I'm here to present to you about my topic. What are the drawbacks of city life? And now allow me to move to the main part of my presentation. There's no doubt that city life is alluring to most people, especially to those who live in rural areas or small towns. The glamour of city life is undoubtedly the main reason for the sharp rise in the rural to urban immigration. However, we should always be kept in mind that urban life is not for everyone. It is much more difficult than life in the countryside in some aspects. So now, I would like to discuss several cons among numerous ones of living in a city. The high cost of living is the first disadvantage of city life. Living expenses in major cities are normally higher compared to the surrounding suburbs and countryside. For example, the total expenditures of residents in New York City or San Francisco are routinely higher than those of other small towns like Burlington or Meridian in the US. That may lead to overworking, even stress among inhabitants to make ends meet, to say nothing of ability to settle down like buying houses. Another demerit of city life is pollution. I have to say that urban life is characterized by pollution. Smoke, high carbon dioxide concentration, polluted drinking water sources, and loud, incessant noises are some of the symptoms of air, water, and noise pollution in the city. Some of the sources of pollution in the city can be listed as, number one, the immense number of motorized transport as a consequence of urban immigration, leading to low air quality. Number two, poor waste disposal and improper sewage treatment system, resulting in contaminated water sources. And number three, maybe the general uncaring, rather selfish ideology of citizens about pollution. Scarcity of space proves to be another significant problem in the city. Here you can see, most apartments in big cities are generally tiny, and it is unusual to have extra space outside your house or apartments like a lawn or a yard, and only in the park will you get to experience greenery or can you carry out some physical activities for your good health in the city. More seriously, parking in the city becomes problematic since only certain areas in the urban setting have paid permit for parking reserve. Free ones along the road fill up like hotcakes. As such, city dwellers have to park their car far away from the destination in the street. Overall, metropolitan life has multiple drawbacks such as costly life, pollution, high living costs, and so on. To that end, we must consider it carefully before making a big move of living in a country city. And I also want to suggest some solutions that at least mitigate them. Firstly, to tackle the high living cost, individuals need to learn how to budget their income more effectively. And businesses can create more job opportunities for city dwellers. And governments should also enact laws for city dwellers to ensure that city dwellers will have enough wages to pay for the rise in the living cost. Secondly, some small changes in each person's lifestyle can change and reduce pollution in the city, such as you can drive your car less, use less energy, and also care more for trees. Thirdly, government should aim at putting more room aside for outdoor communal spaces and parks. And yeah, thank you for your attention. That's the end of my presentation. I'm ready for your questions.
Okay, so how are you today?
As you see, I'm a little bit nervous at first, but I'm still alive and kicking.
I don't think you know it. First of all, you look hella fly today. So.
Oh, that's nice to hear that.
Okay, so can you tell me why it's so expensive to living in the city?
Yeah, when the urbanization become progressively popular, and more people tend to migrate to city, and everything becomes higher than normal. And when everything lack of space and so on, and that's the reason why everything becomes higher to can afford for everyone. Yeah.
So example, like I have example. So for a student who just finished, graduate the high school, and they want to go to the big cities to study university or college.
Yeah.
But all of them will come up to the city and things will happen. How can you minimize the population of the city?
I think that governments should have a plan to urbanize other countryside, our rural areas, and so that city is everywhere. Also, at least not everywhere, but almost so. Everywhere there is developed education system, and every student can approach it, so they don't have to migration to the city.
So do you think people with the label as big city person, is that a good thing? Like, oh, you are a big city boy, you're a big city girl, so how about that?
Actually, I'm a rural girl.
Hi, Chang. How are you?
I'm good now. How's it going to you?
I cannot complain. Thank you for your speech. I really enjoyed it. I think you chose a good topic. I have questions for you. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Good, good. One of your demerits was pollution.
Yes.
Can you name, the main sources of pollution in city life?
Yes, as I've mentioned above, there are many other causes of pollution. For example, the other causes of air pollution may come from factories, chemicals, radioactive waste, and people burning fossil fuels too. Another cause of noise pollution can come from loud music, transportations, constructions, and so on. Yeah, and discharge of domestic and industrial effluent waste, marine dumping, and radioactive waste are some major causes of water pollution in the city.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time. Well done.
Yeah, thank you for such interesting question.
Hey, Chang.
Yeah, hello, teacher.
Oh, I'm so impressed. Your pronunciation, your fluency, absolutely incredible.
Oh, it was nice to hear that. Thank you so much.
So you say you are a rural girl, yes?
Yes, I'm rural girl.
Would you like to move to the city? Why?
Now, at least now, I don't want to move to the city. I love my countryside life. Everything is perfect. But I think in the future, I will have opportunity to move to the city, at least for the high quality of education, because in the city, well-known university, high quality education system, and other high quality education centers too. So I think I have to move to the city in the one day in the future.
Do you think you have been disadvantaged in life because you grew up in a rural area or in the countryside, and why?
Can you say that again?
Do you think you have been disadvantaged in life because you grew up in the countryside as opposed to the city?
I think that the cons has two sides, and so is the countryside life too. And of course, there is so much demerit of living in the countryside. For example, there is not much transportation for people to go, and the most important thing, I think, is education. The education system in here is not developed. And two is medication. Almost well-known university, well-known hospitals and clinics are located in cities. So people in countryside may have to move so far distance to achieve it. So I think that's the serious problems in countryside life.
Okay, and then my last question.
Yeah.
You as a rural girl, what do you think your biggest challenges will be moving to the city?
I think it seems to me that the most serious problem is that I am used to the pace of life in the countryside, so I find it difficult to absorb the city pace of life, because everyone in the city rush off their feet and juggle to a million different things at once. But in the countryside, they're slowly alive, and everyone is relaxed. And I think that's the most serious problem for me when moving to the city.
Chang, splendid job, thank you.
Yeah, thank you all. And
we will not be accepting any questions from the audience. Thank you.
yeah, thank you everyone.